folks, welcome to this exciting video where you once again join us in the beautiful landscape of Scotland. And today I'm basically starting at the roadside. I'm in Glennesque. Me and Highlanders out for a wee adventure, and it's kind of late afternoon. We just thought we'd pop out, and I thought I'll just throw the camera on and I'll update you along the way. I've just pulled in at this gate and I was just away to open this can of juice. It's called Sunset Vibe, and I thought that's perfect on a day like today because we're in a heat wave out here in Scotland, folks. And yeah, it's fun often to pull in at these wee places and update the video now and again. And we might even include just footage as well for tomorrow, because I'm going to go back out exploring again. I'm not sure what Highlander's doing tomorrow and that, but this video is going to be a little nuggets or whatever we get into. Yeah, let's try out the Sunset Vibe and see how we get on. Look at these hills behind us. Quite recently there was like heather and stuff getting burnt on these hills. It's cool to see them change over the years. Let's try this. What flavour is it? Mango passion fruit flavour. Never tried before. It has got the Sunset Vibe for sure, folks. Anyway, let's get into action of this adventure. Check out this for a second location on the video, folks. Me and Highlanders punched our way further up Glennesque, and we've come to this little cool spot. We're just hanging out here. I've brought a refreshment so we can chill out on the rocks and just take in the beautiful scenery. The river here is so much deeper than we saw lower down the Glen. In the last adventure on the channel, we were actually in this river, so to speak. If you've not seen that, you can watch it after this or whatever. Today's video, we're just basically hitting little locations and probably finding some history along the way. This place is like coming to a postcard to chill out. Right at the bottom of the rock I'm standing on, the water's just so deep. Ken, you would be out of sight if you went in any of these areas here. It wouldn't even be that safe. I'm still refreshed though from being in the river in the last episode. I can feel my legs and stuff. It's good for you to be in the cold water, and it's good for you to come on a wee adventure into a place like this, folks. You might often see me with a can of juice or whatever on the video, but the important thing in the countryside, always take your litter home. I'm always taking my empty cans and stuff back to the car. And yeah, it's a shame when you see places ruined often from litter and stuff, because these places are so wild and remote. People's not going to come here and pick up the litter for you if you throw it around. And yeah, wow, it's just like paradise. We're standing right now in a Scottish paradise, a Scottish postcard. I'm going to try and jump over here to that rock, over the abyss of the water. Whoa, it's like stepping stones. It's so deep between the stepping stones though, it's scary. It's hard to see through the water because of that foam and the froth. Anyway, let's have a wee poke about here and a wee explore. See what we get into, folks. It's one adventure after another on this channel, so it's just one big adventure. Video after video, crazy places, different locations, different scenes like this. And it's so deep at the side of these rocks. It's crazy in Scotland, you can come a few miles upland or wherever, and it's just so different. And just imagine them building this little bridge over the river. The character of the stonework, it's just breathtaking. Anyway, we're away to hang out here and chill out on the rocks, and I'll update you in a minute. So I just got a wee time lapse there, folks. On the time lapse I was making it look like I was throwing my car away into the river after talking about the litter, but I was just joking for the video. But yeah, Highlander's away to skim his stone past me here. He's out there and I'm on the pinnacle of land next to the skimming arena here. Go for it, my man. Oh, right to the other side. For a split second there I had a feeling it was going to hit me right in the head. That's didn't hit me. Look at that, he's under pressure, he's hitting the back wall of the arena each time. That's straight. Can you make it? Oh! That one there, it got halfway across. And I'm literally right on the edge. I really want to put the camera down through the water and show you how deep and ferocious it is here, but again, the wind, I would have to take the windsock and stuff off the camera. Highlander's popping the skims off. And yeah, let's make our way along. Here folks, I was just laughing. Do it again, Highlander.
No.
It's so funny. Whoa, I nearly fell. I was just laughing because Highlander does a pre-stone skim manoeuvre before he throws it. And here it helps do it. But it's just the technique. Good, because I'm not as good at skimming them. But I didn't do that technique. And I think that's the way to do it though. Can you do a pre-stone skim manoeuvre? Let's do it folks. Whoa, I'm right on the edge of this. It's quite deep. Sometimes you get the wobbles. Here he is, like he's hitting the back wall. This is crazy folks. Shout out, there's people like walking their dogs and stuff along there. We're just literally hanging out at this spot folks. As you maybe saw for the time lapse, we're just exploring, looking at the river. Just take a look at it at this side right here. This is where it flows. The whole river goes through the narrow wee section between the, well, under the bridge. This is the whole river through this, and that's one of the most deep and ferocious areas of the river. Check it out. Wow. And the wee waterfall. It's a true Scottish paradise folks. And you know how it is, video after video, we're going to the coolest places like this and it just blows my mind. Sometimes if you just get out of the car in random places, it's crazy the adventure that's out there to be had. Look at this little guy here chilling down on the rocks folks, a little bumblebee. Hello little guy. Hey, he's probably been flying about getting some pollen. He's maybe no richt though, he's just sitting there. He's maybe sleeping. Wow folks, hey, a little bumblebee of all things. It's crazy to spot that on the rocks in such a wild environment with this behind us. What an area for a hangout folks. We've been chilling down here on the rocks for a good while. And in a heat wave, that's what we love to do on this channel. Check this out folks, we've come over to this incredible piece of land. We're now at the opposite side of the bridge. We've come under that wee arch down from the road. Look at the landscape, there's deep rock pools here from the current turning these stones round and wearing it. I was just saying to Highlander, it's cool to jump out to this rock in the middle of the waterfall. Slippy. Yeah. It'd be a fair jump, a fair send across there like. Doable, yeah. It is doable. Yeah, try and not make the rock wet though when you jump over. We're just eyeing it up folks. I could make the jump I think though. To the middle of the waterfall. That's what these adventures are all about folks. See if you slip though, game over like. I think it has to be a jump to that wee ridge in the middle. Good. If you slipped there you'd be right in. And you hit to jump back as well. We consider everything before we're doing manoeuvre often in the wild lands. See the force of the water? If you went in there you'd be in trouble. That's the ferocious current you would fall into if you didn't make that jump. That's why it's important to always analyse your landscape before you can act. Cool to see it. Another bit on it. What a crazy wee adventure folks. Here we go folks, never try this in your life. Are you wanting to record me jumping over?
I'm not jumping across it.
Nah.
You'll be able to reach it.
I'll just hand you though and then I'll just jump back when I'm finished. Jumping back would take my key time. Here we go folks, we're going for the jump. I'm going to try and land right on top. The waterfall folks. Wow, if we can reach it safely. We've made it. This is the kind of adventures I promise you on the channel folks. The water's flowing on both sides. You'd be in super danger if you made a mistake in a landscape like this. Look at it flowing at this side. Wild waterfall. Here we are at Chill in the middle of it. Crazy. Let's explore this side of the rock. Look how it drops in. All this created from the wild seas and waters. Here, I'm going to come back over. Go down there. There we go, folks, we're prepped. I'm going to land back on that rock. I'm going to be like a little lamb here, jumping like a spring lamb. We did it, folks. Never attempt that if you're ever at this location. It's so risky, because if you fall in, aye, it's making like a banging noise. Now and again. So before I bounce out of this location, folks, I'll just show you this cool little stone arch at this side. Look how this bridge is built onto the bedrock. Wow, it's just like being in a picture postcard. I've said it already on the videos, but wee nuggets like this. We're about to go somewhere else in the video as well, but it's cool just to have that mixture of things. From coast to Glen, we're always at it, just seeing what's around, exploring lands and history within it. And it is just crazy to see places like this. Little hidden gems in Scotland. It's so much fun for an adventure. Alright folks, this is the next part of this action adventure, and I'm actually at another location, and this is an evening walk and it's almost sunset, and I'm just literally getting my stuff together here, putting on my coat. So I just thought I would throw the camera on early. My new style of making these videos, it's almost like a behind the scenes of my usual style of video making, where I would just turn up at the location and record once I get to the good bits. In this video you're getting to see what goes on behind the scenes of a Scottish explorer, and I'm actually putting my coat on. Earlier on today it's been a proper heat wave, but right now there's actually a bit of a haar, and I've come down to the coast just to chill out and look at the waves as the sun sets, folks, because that's what I absolutely love in Scotland. Wee adventures and finding stuff that I've never seen before on the channel. So I just need to take all my stuff. And I was just thinking I should maybe tuck my trousers into my socks. Whoa! Look at this! There's a train. Look at that, folks, live action on the video. That's a train on the main east coast line of Scotland. And yeah, I have come here a few times on videos, but this is what it's like 2025. We're just coming wee short clips here, there and everywhere. Little short clips of my weekend or my adventures, and it's just so much fun to put it all in a video, or to throw a camera on just often when I wouldn't normally do it, and take the viewers along on the adventure with us. It's like a wee Scottish adventure here, and I need to tuck my trousers into my socks so the beasties didn't go up my legs. Yeah folks, this is the way. This is the outfit of the explorer. So this style of fashion on my adventures with the trousers tucked in, that's completely not for fashion. I'm not trying to look cool. It is just to stop the beasties running up my legs. Maybe the spiders, or who knows what other critters is kicking about. And yeah, I just love often going full send into the landscape, or punching out wide to the coast. The wee places I see, or the wee encounters with nature that occur when you just have spontaneous adventures. This year we're going up a gear, and we're just having hyped madnesses, little clips of cool places, like jumping over that waterfall earlier in the video. That's the wee adrenaline rush of the explorer that this channel was born on many years ago. Just basically growing up in the countryside and always being out and about and things like that, climbing trees, exploring the lands. It's cool nowadays that I can bring the rest of the world along on the adventures. Even right now I'm really excited to go right down and just chill out and see the waves. Get right up close to the waves of the sea, folks. Look at this for a backdrop, folks. This is where I'm heading down for a wee poke about. And check it out, we've got another train coming past. This is actually a Saturday night. Let's wave to the train. Hello there. All the people making their way through the land on the train, probably looking, wishing they could walk in such a beautiful landscape. One of my favourite things to explore on the channel is like areas where there's water, like rivers or crazy areas like that, or even coastal areas and mad seas. I just love it in Scotland, the viciousness of the nature, the craziness of the North Sea. Often when you chill out somewhere for a wee while and just watch a little area, there's just so much going on. To think of the vastness and the quantity of the sea, you get an aspect of it when the wave comes up on the rocks. Oh, it's just beautiful. Anyway, I'm going to run on a little bit further up the coast here, folks. I just keep updating the video with these little clips. Who even knows where we're going to end up? And sometimes with these adventures, it's mad the things we end up seeing. There was one time up this bit of coast I ended up face to face with a seal. So normally when the tide's in, this piece of land in front of me is kind of cut off from the mainland. The water comes right in this bit up at this height, all the way down this channel. So I'm thinking I'm going to punch on over to this edge and I'm going to see how mad the sea is at the opposite side on this secluded little kind of island on the land. It's obviously not an island because right now the tide's out, but you can see where the water normally goes. So let's head into this madness over this edge. So today's adventures, it's been a bit of a behind the scenes to show you the sorts of place I go when I'm not making a video. If I just fancy a wee walk, it just happens to be today we're making a video, and here we are, I'm bringing the world along with me. We're out on this remote little piece of land here, and literally the sea goes right in behind me a good few hundred meters. Once the tide turns here, these waves will start getting bigger and covering this bit of shore. So this is a wee sneak peek on the edge of Scotland. I've rarely been out here myself. Whoa, that's not a rock pool where the water comes hurtling through the hole. It's one of those mental rock pools, folks. Wow, this is crazy. I love Scotland for stuff like this. It's like a savage hole which has been worn by the sea. Now and again the water flows through, but the tide's not at high enough a height. Look at the holes here. If you fell in some of these holes, you would be a goner. That's why I'm being careful. Even these little rock pools that don't look like much, that could be so deep, I'd be under my head. Or I should say, my head would be under the water. Anyway, let's look over the edge, because the sea goes right around this piece of land. I just love it. Look up that coast, folks. Adventures like this, it's so much fun for me to get out, just explore random places. Whoa, the waves just ripping along there as well. I love Scotland and I love the North Sea. And wee adventures like this just cover all those cool things. Whoa, I'm being super careful, look at that. The reason I'm being careful, some of that brown seaweed is just really slippy. Whoa, I think I just missed a wave there behind me. I heard it gushing against the shore. I'm going to jump over where there's less seaweed. This is crazy, folks. We're in the middle of this absolute madness right here. And I'm just playing it safe. But like I say, I'm often out in places like this exploring, and it's often like practice for some of the cooler videos that we record when we're trying to explore mad pieces of land. Sometimes stuff like this can teach you about balance or grip. See, the interesting thing, I walked right past this and look, it's actually a mad quartz seam on the front of this rock. Check it out, the whole rock here, when the sun shines on it, it'll reflect the sun. It's naturally that white colour. Anyway, let's push on. Look, green as well. This is all volcanic rock here. And then boom, the sea's right in behind us. We're out on this pinnacle of land, folks. That's what life is all about, and I just love it. And I didn't record walking along here, but I'll just be making my way back through this to get back out of here. Yes, I just love it. Let's climb up on top of this bit. If anybody comes to the coast, they have to stay safe and explore within their means. Obviously, areas like this, there's just unlimited little ways you can go and things you can see. And when the tide's out, it opens up so much more areas to explore. But I'm just obviously out here stretching my legs before sunset. I also want to use this video to thank everybody that's gotten in the comments. Sometimes I do not have time to reply to every comment, but I do try my best. But for everybody who writes a decent comment, I do read them, and I do enjoy to hear from people all over the world. And I do reply to some of them, and I reply to as many as I can, but sometimes it's just so many comments, it's a madness trying to reply to everyone, because I want to give a full wholesome answer. Sometimes I don't want to just have like a yes or a no, so I don't write a reply at that moment, and then before you know it, I never write a reply because I don't get round to it. Then there's like thousands of more comments to reply to, and it just gets like that. And that's the reason sometimes, maybe if you've written a comment, I do appreciate it. And yeah, it's just sometimes like so busy in the comment section. You know how it is, folks, we're out here all the time doing adventures. If you do watch the videos, get in the comment section if you haven't before and say hello. Say what bit of the world that you're watching the videos from. Because I was saying to Highlander, it's amazing to think like where the videos may have been watched from over the world. some little hut in Alaska or whatever. Maybe somebody could be sitting watching a BKR video, and that's what I love to think about sometimes as well, that side of the YouTube. Sometimes it's about the fans and the people that watch as well, and that's why I love just coming out for adventures instead of maybe just like sitting in the house. So I'm totally dying walking up this hill here, folks. I'm gassed out. It's such a steep hill. If anybody comes to these locations, they have to be prepared for walking up things like that. But I absolutely love it. Looking around and seeing scenes like that. And I'm just keeping a fast pace. The main animals has been spiders that I've seen. And then these midges, you get them flying in little packs, little bundles of midges now and again. And then look at the vivid colour on that. Wow. Yeah, this has been so cool tonight to get this little evening adventure in. After being out and about today, having a few walks and stuff like that, it was cool to come back out tonight. Just stretch the legs before sunset. And wow, look at that, folks. It's a scene of Scotland. So there we go, folks. We're back up to the car. And I'm overheating after climbing up all those hills from the coast. Look, a bird's done its business on my car roof right here. It's some mess. That's what you get in Scotland, those big seagulls that fly around. You didn't think the adventure was over yet, did you, folks? This is actually the next morning, and I'm back out once again. This is morning time. Normally it's afternoon before I'm out exploring, but recently I went up there, and that's actually a 500 BC hill fort. But today's wee adventure, well, for this section of the adventure, I'm actually going to punch up this hill here. And that, at the top of that hill where the stones are, is actually another 500 BC hill fort. And I've not been to it on the videos for absolute years. Yes, folks, check this out. We're now at location 3, and like, what adventure would be complete without a piece of abandoned history? Over there we can see Montrose in the North Sea. And in the last clips when I was at the coast, I was literally just like over the edge of the land there, down at the wild edge of the wild edge of Scotland. But now we've come inland and we've punched up the Glen here, and we're actually on the edge of a 500 BC hill fort. And just look at it, all these stones were manually brought here. And this is a massive fort that was actually constructed in the Iron Age. And just think how long ago that was, folks. Thousands of years ago. And last time I documented one of these hill forts, I think it was that one over there. There's literally 2 hill forts like side by side here in Scotland. And look, there's a rainstorm further up the way there near Lawrence Kirk. It's crazy on a day like this how far we can see. This is the tail end of that heat wave we've been having, but as you can see there is wee rainstorms and stuff moving about the land. And from the top of this hill fort we're away to get an excellent view all the way around. Whoa, this is incredible, folks, because look how this land here has been engineered. It's crazy. All this has been levelled, and all these stones at one time would have been piled up like a defensive outer wall. And then within the middle there was little structures and little buildings, little homes, and it was a full real deal settlement up here at this high piece of land. And I just thought for this video it's a cool wee nugget to add in. You know how it is on this channel, it's adventure after adventure. And I just passed a heap of people on the path, and a lot of them, this will be their day out, their little walk, whereas this is just my warm up. I came here to do a wee ending for this video here, to show you that there's literally like 2,500-year-old history kicking about in these lands. It's not just stuff for like 100 or 200 years ago. This is literally like 500 BC, folks. And wow, what an adventure. This is actually Sunday morning, and what a fresh place to come for a morning walk. After my evening walk last night at the coast, it's cool to have that contrast with the high hills and the peaks of the land. And just look at the colours here of the far hills. Everything's starting to green up. The heather at this time of year has still got that brown shade to it. And that's what we can see on most of these far hills. Wow, folks, let's take a wee walk around this. I do have my trousers tucked into my socks once again for this one because of the tick situation, especially up here. Whoa, the wind is blowing as well, and I do apologise for that at this location. Yeah, what a cool wee nugget this is just to have on the videos. And from here we can actually see loads of other areas we've explored. I've been to wee abandoned farms and crofts and stuff like that in most of these glens. And my adventures take me all the way from the sea, which we can see at that horizon, all the way as far as we can see from here in each direction. That's basically the areas I normally explore, and it's cool to kind of get that bird's eye view on it from here. I was going to put the drone up and have a fly about, but it's actually probably a wee bit too windy for that today. That's why some weeks you get drone footage in the videos, and then the next week there's no much. It's often just the weather in Scotland. The drone doesn't like getting blown too strongly. Whoa, this is crazy, folks. The height of this hill dropping down to like the main road height at that side. Here we are, folks. I'm literally jogging round a 500 BC hill fort, and you just never know what you're going to get on this channel. I'm sure if I keep running around to the far side, there's actually an old, what used to be the well, and they would dig down until they got a natural spring under the ground where they could get a fresh source of water up here within the grounds of their hill fort. Here we are, folks. At this side you get a real aspect. We're now at the opposite side of the hill fort to where I came in. Whoa, there's a bumblebee here right in front of me, buzzing me. Probably having a look to see if I'm a flower he can get some pollen from. Wow, yeah, there's been bits dug here and stuff. See, like this hole, I think there's been archaeology and stuff done at an ancient time, or probably like 30 years ago or more now. And an interesting thing with these hill forts, there's all these deep ditches that run round and round the hill, but also not like all the hill fort wasn't within this main complex. There was actually small fields and stuff within the boundary of those outer kind of ditches and defensive ditches. They used to grow stuff like crops, grain, anything they probably needed for their survival. Oh, it's a bit less windy down in this hollow. We'll go and take a look at this well. Look at that, folks. There's the last remains of the ancient well. Look how deep it is, and it's quite interesting to consider, if it's this deep now, how deep was it originally? 2,500 years ago. Like, that must have been a real deep hole down to the water level. Because even way up here in the hills, you still get water. If you dig in the right area, you can still get water bubbling up through. And it's interesting to see the remains of that. And I have seen it also at Finhaven Hill Fort and places like that. They've got the big deep wells as well, funnily enough. Wow, yeah, this video's been cool. We've had wee adventures from the highest glen down to the coast, and then up here again back to the hills to see this old piece of history. And it just blows my mind, the variation of things that I get up to. Last night's evening walk, that's the kind of walk I would often go on down at the coast. I wouldn't throw the camera on, so it's cool to get those few clips just kicking about on the rocks. And that's what keeps my fitness levels up, probably, for climbing hills like this, running around to get the footage. And I'm just thinking, like, what direction that rainstorm's going. It's cool to see that on the camera, and from a high hill you get an aspect of how the rain moves over the land as the clouds move with the wind. That's definitely Lawrence Kirk up that way though, because I can see the big windmills on the hill there, up behind the Johnson Monument. Whoa, sometimes the bumblebees come flying in and they flee around. I think they all try and figure out what they're seeing. Yeah, I think those are like blackberry bushes or whatever as well. Blaeberries or whatever you call them in Scotland. And then there's a mixture of that and then heather bushes. But I thought it's cool to come up here now on this video, because in a few months this will get super overgrown and it's harder to see the history. And the cool thing with this, you have to imagine each of these stones was brought up here. Each of these stones is part of the original construction. And just think how much labour went on and how long it took to actually engineer a hill to this degree, where it's totally levelled out and it's got this big surrounding wall. Most likely the front line of a battle eventually, the front line of warfare. And that's the side of these things that can often go forgotten after thousands of years. Yeah, it's just breathtaking, folks, and what a fun wee walkabout it's been. This has been my daily warm-up walk. Now I'm going to go and record the next adventure somewhere else, but it's been cool in this video to hear a multitude of things. I've said it already, It's often like some of the clips, it's just like a behind the scenes into the life and times of BKR. And then abandoned history like this, Scotland's just got so much of it. When I'm exploring it, I'm often like imagining how it may have been when it was first constructed or when it was in its prime. And from here you can see how deep the ditches are. Wow, it's just epic, folks. I think there did used to be a sign here that told you a little bit of the history, but it's typical with anything, it gets vandalised. People just are out to break anything. If something's breakable, they break it. And that's the modern day mentality, folks, of people often, if they're out kicking about with their mates, instead of documenting it or going around recording it before it's gone, they're part of the reason that some of these places are so far gone. Generations of wee rebels coming out causing havoc. Eventually ancient sites or abandoned places can be completely ruined, and that's sometimes how I don't give away the exact location of where I am. Obviously with this it's pretty obvious, but sometimes we like abandoned houses or mansions, other places, I didn't actually say where it is for the sake of saving the structure in case it gets destroyed. Anyway, just look at this view. The car's like a tiny pinpoint dot down there, and the town I live is basically over there, about halfway between us and the sea. And it's just so refreshing coming out here in the wind. I just love it, folks. I love Scotland, I love exploring. And it's so much fun being able to throw the camera on and share these adventures. Even though the wind is blowing, I definitely did not need this jersey, but I was unsure when I first got out of the car. Sometimes in Scotland at this time of year, in the morning it's freezing cold, and then by lunchtime you're just overheating. So it's hard to pick the right outfit for an adventure. So now my car's the only car down in the car park, and I just stopped for a second to listen. And there is literally no other noise apart from the wind and the birds. And that's what I love about Scotland. It's like solitude. You can come out to a place like this. Literally there's just nobody around here now for miles. It's the peace and tranquility and an endless area of adventure to be found. And that's what this channel's all about, capturing that adventure on film. Maybe one day I can look back and see the cool places I was and explored. It's so much fun to document these places as well on the videos. So like a lot of these 500 BC hill forts, there's no a lot of them left. Like that's probably one of the ones which is the most complete, because obviously so many years has passed. It is cool to have it on this video though, for a cool little final destination, a wee fun third part of this adventure. It's just been amazing to see that Iron Age hill fort and just think all that went on. And I just wonder where the original track was up to this place back in the day, because it probably wasn't this path here. And just think as well how much the landscape around there has probably changed. Maybe at one time a lot more forests and untamed land before the days of agriculture, or serious agriculture anyway, with so much going on. Anyway folks, that's me just about back down to the car, so I'm going to end this one here. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll be back soon with the next one, wherever I end up going.